Okay, so still waiting till the Discord connects me. Oh god, looks like the Discord doesn't want to cooperate with me right now. Also I have to change the title, so whatever. Okay, so I'm still connecting to Discord. Well, can't do much, so still waiting for it to update. Also, like I said, I forgot to bump it up on the Twitch, so it's still a thing to do. English, yeah, here comes English. Okay, I will try to enter the Discord once again. Maybe this time it will work. No idea why I did it in the first place. Well, can't do much. If it didn't, then it didn't. Oh, I believe once again it's one of these Discord issues. So it cannot find the road for me. Okay, so I will send the Discord. So I need to establish connection in another way.
Channel switched.
Okay, so I will do it via TeamSpeak after all. Well, like I said, Discord is buggy sometimes, so it's not the perfect way of doing things. But whatever, from time to time you have to make a workaround when the Discord is not working as intended to. Like, it only happened once in the past, and it was the only instance where the Discord was not working. Feels bad, man.
User was moved to your channel.
Okay, hello.
Hey. Okay. So, I actually forgot that we're gonna meet today.
Okay.
I just realized, like afternoons, I haven't really thought about any huge questions. So I was just thinking we can do gameplay. Have you checked out my deck list?
Yes, I did. So
Yeah, and,
they look just
I
fine.
did a few things since we last talked about it, so yeah, they should be fine. Now, so you think they are fine?
Can you repeat, sorry?
So you think they are good? I mean, fine.
I think most of them are fine, and right now people are still in the phase of shaping the meta. Like last time we created this deck, so it was like your part to test them out. So if they are working out, then it's good. And I believe people will still change decks in the upcoming week.
Yeah, probably, but I can see now it's like Shadow and Blood meta again.
Yeah, Shadow and Blood are
So-
most popular archetypes at the moment.
Yeah, I've been playing Control Queen Shift most of the week. Yeah, it's funny. Like there are decks that are really bad against, and decks are really good. So there's no really in between. I don't know. I lose really hard versus Storm Ramp, or like Dragon in general, and the Shift obviously. Ugh. But I usually win against Shadow. I win against most Haven decks, like I think all of them. Yeah, even Storm. Aegis is not a problem at all. Seraph is fine. I mean, I usually keep Petrification in hand for any Haven matchup because it's just very useful. Even if it's a Seraph or you can banish the Tin Soldier or the Tea Time, so it's just a really good card overall. Yeah, so Haven is not a problem. Sword, if it's really not drawy aggro sword, then it can be a problem because they are all like stealth before, so I can remove them with like my removal stuff. But if they let me get to turn 6 and I have Curse in hand, from then they cannot kill me again. So usually that's okay unless they are like really good early. Nap Shadow is always fine. I don't mind playing against Nap Shadow. I can just banish basically all the Mordekais with Curse.
Yep.
Yeah. Blood is okay, I guess. I had some tough times versus really high rolly, easy, really not drawy aggro Blood when I couldn't remove them because I had a bricky hand maybe, but I mean that's the same with any control deck and the hyper aggro deck, so that's okay. Vengeance was fine. That's kind of easy. I don't really care about them damaging themselves because I'm not gonna finish. I mean, I don't really care if they are like on 17 HP or 5 when I get to turn 10 and I have my combo in hand, because I do, like, if I do it with Lucifer and they do not have a ward on board, then it's just Lucifer does enough damage to finish with 17. And obviously the Queen's extra 7 damage is a lethal. Anyway, if they don't have a ward, if I do it with Israfil, then I need to do 3 damage beforehand somehow.
Yeah,
And
that's
even
true.
Evil Point. I mean, Evil Point is not even that necessary, but it's okay if you have it.
Yeah, it's perfect if you have it, so then the Lucifer deals a lot of damage.
Yeah, the Lucifer is... I prefer to do the combo with Lucifer. I also put in, since we last spoke, I put in 1 Olivia, just so I can be a bit more free with the Evil Point. Also, I can beat, like, really grindy, like, Nap and Elana Haven, but like, I played like 20 turn games. It was like, what the hell? And, yeah, like we both almost got decked out at the end.
Whoa, sounds crazy.
Yeah, so this deck can really hold its ground, and I haven't even imagined it's gonna hold like this well. I thought that it's like, I mean, it is obviously the best control class, but it can, like, this deck has like a really good control in it, so I'm really still really enjoying it. Also, I crafted 1 extra queen so I can have 3, and with this I always, like, I don't think there was one game, maybe there was one game where I did not have queen in my hand by turn 10, but usually I always do. And Dimension Shift is the same thing. Usually Arguably pops into my hand somehow. I mean, I draw it or I draw a Lu, and then I draw it, so it's usually not a problem to have the combo by turn 10. Either with Lucifer or Israfil, it's fine. So yeah, so I'm really happy with this deck. Yeah, so I don't know if you think it's still a meme or not. I don't think it's a meme anymore, though. It's just not a really, because it's a combo deck, and like most combo decks are not that consistent. Yeah, so that's the weakness. If I don't have the combo, I don't have the finish. So yeah.
Well,
that's
I
the only
would
problem with it.
still
Also,
consider
really
it
high
meme.
aggro decks.
I mean, I would still consider it meme,
So you
but
Stacy,
it's
like it's a meme deck.
yeah,
it's a
but
strong meme.
it's just like a lower tier deck. Like if you want to consider it on tier list, it will be really low, but it might be one of these decks that can excel when drawn correctly, because with correct draws, you're able to just win with the queen, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I really like this deck. Also, since I've made so many decks, I'm like at a bit of a like crossroad that I can't really decide what to play, because Haven feels so weak right now. I don't know, it just feels weak. I try to, I mean, Stormhaven is maybe okay, I mean, I had some good routes with Stormhaven, but Aegis, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as good, which is surprising because in the Shadow meta, Haven is supposed to be good, but since Agrobot is so like fast and strong, I just lose against Blood all the time. It's hard to beat Blood, and yeah, sometimes even Shadow is a problem. With like the Necro Assassin and all the shenanigans, like my banish is like basically sometimes useless because they just destroy it before I can even banish it.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
I
If
don't
they
know.
gain tempo in the
This
early
version
game,
of-
they
of-
have option
of
for
Shadow
finish.
is just, I don't know. What?
I said if they gain tempo in the early game, they have really good option to finish. So that's how it goes. Like
Yeah.
that's why you're losing with them. Also, Blood got Karabos, and most of the Blood shifted towards playing free Karabos. Like right now, it emerged as the best archetype. So Karabos is really strong.
Yeah, I remember last week you said that I should take out Karabos from the aggro deck, but I put her back. I only have 2, and I'm not going to craft a 3rd one, so this is what I have for the aggro blood.
Yeah,
And,
last week I
it's
said that,
fine,
but the
I'm
meta
just not
shifted.
really yeah, yeah, I know. I'm just not a big fan of aggro decks as a whole, as you know. So yeah, I do my dailies with the Vengeance deck rather. I mean, I just find it like boring to play like aggro decks. It's just boring. Like there's no like, it's just like either you draw or you don't, and then I mean you don't really have like room for any clever plays or combos or like surprising stuff to do. You just like put your cards down and you go for face, or maybe trade sometimes. That's all, and it's boring. I don't know. I just don't find it really like interesting. But basically, so the 3rd class, I mean, I really truly like Rune now. I also made the Burn Rune deck this way. I'm not sure about Mage of Nightfall though, but I wasn't sure what to replace her with. She feels really slow against aggro decks now. Yeah, so I don't know, what do you think about Mage of Nightfall? In Burn Rune,
yeah.
specifically.
So in aggro version, like aggro archetype of this one, I still think the Mage of Nightfall is really good because usually opponent will not find a room to deal with her, so it's like 4 damage out of the board. Also late game she's really good because she's harder to remove each turn, and the Grimir is not played at all.
But yeah,
This is
nobody
static.
plays Grimir anymore.
Fucking...
Yeah, so you think I should keep her? I don't know, I just always found like no time to play her. Because I mean she's my only 3-drop, but it's really rare that she's actually in my hand on turn 3. So you usually just have like a 1-drop plus a 2-drop drop down on turn 3. So I don't know, I was really looking to like maybe just take her out for something else, but yeah, I understand that she fits into Burn Rune. Also, I've been trying to like make a mid-range rune deck with like Professor and like Curse in it. What do you think of Rune as a whole now?
I think Rune is
Like
fine.
as a craft right
So I think Rune is craft and it's really diverse. So you can use both the Dirt Rune, you can use the Dimension Shift, you can use any archetype in any way you want, and it's gonna be really good. But the Rune
now.
is...
So Daria is good too?
I would say the Daria still might be good, like some people still play Daria, and with Daria all you have to do is get a correct craft, like the dude that beat me in the NGA was running Conjuring Force rune, and with perfect draws you can also win with this, so the rune is like Mage in Hearthstone, where it doesn't have to be the best class, because rune just have versatile spells and cards.
Yeah, I really like Rune now, so... I haven't even paid attention to it too much before because I was like all about Haven, but like Rune is a really close second now for me. So yeah, so which type of Rune deck do you think is the best now? This Burn Rune deck, or maybe I should make a mid-range?
I would say right now the best archetype is still the Dimension Shift, like the usual one.
Oh, that one, yeah, yeah, that's the only one that it's a bit boring to me again. So this one, right? This way, you said this way it was good. I know you said 3 Merlins, but my problem with Dimension Shift that it's not versatile enough for me, and maybe I should adjust it somehow, because like I tried a few games and maybe I'm just bad at Dimension Shift, but I cannot really deal with aggro decks like Blood. If Blood and Shadow, they are both a bit of a problem for me, and I feel it's just like not that good versus them, and they are the meta now.
Okay, so most of the time it depends how your early game goes. So if you kind of break in the early game, then it's gonna be hard. And it also depends on your draw. So even though the deck might be inconsistent, it still have really good going on when going second. For example, when you go Levi on Evolution, or when you go in the Conjuring Golem, or Piercing Rune, something like that.
So you think that D-Shift is the best rune deck now?
I think right now it's either D-Shift or just a mid-range Dirt Rune, like the one with golems.
Yeah, I have to make a mid-range Dirt Rune. I think I'm gonna make one right now, if you don't mind. We can test it.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I'll just copy this one and then change the bit. Yeah, and in the meantime, my third favorite class is probably going to be Dragon, especially the Storm one, because the Storm Dragon is really similar to the Queen Shift Dirt, because it finishes with in plus a neutral, and it just feels similar to me, and I like the I think I like combo decks now. I wasn't sure if I do, because Roach, I didn't like Roach. But I like Seraph, I like Queen Shift, so probably I would like that too. So yeah, so how should we change this? I'm thinking Curse for sure. 2, I would maybe even switch Mutagenic out now. Maybe all Mutagenic Ball just for curses. Or maybe leave 1 Mutagenic Ball and 2 curses.
I mean, you can still play with 2 curses, and the main difference between mid-range and the aggro ones is the Mage of Nightfalls and Demonic Strike. So in the mid-range one, a lot of people run Price of Magic, and they also run Goblin Mages to find Illusionist, Alchemist, and Levi's. So Goblin Mage is also a good addition to the deck. And obviously Professor of Taboos.
Yeah, and only 2 O's, or should I still run 3?
You should still run 3 O's, but you can cut 1 Dance of Death. Because 3 of them right now will be not necessary.
And 2 taboos or 3? I would put 2 maybe. And then I can put, I mean, if I have 2, then I can put in 2 Goblin Mages, because I don't know what else I should take out.
So you can play 3 Goblin Mages, you can take out the Mutagenic Bolt. Because in this kind of deck, the Calamitous Curse will be enough. Considering a high amount of Earth Seals.
Yeah. So this way it should be fine. Yeah, but what's my finisher in this one? Because I used to have a mid-range one with Elder Mage of Dragon Lore as the finisher.
In this one, there is no particular finisher, like you are playing a mid-range deck, so you just want to play good stuff on the curve and excel in this. So once you establish your tempo on the board, you should be fine to go.
Yeah, because like mid-range Shadow has Actor as the big finisher guy who busted the board and flushed the board again and again, and here, like, Oz is basically just a draw engine, and the spell reduce is not going to play a big part. Or maybe it does, like, on turn 6 I can play out Oz and Curse at the same time. And I can have a body on the board plus Curse.
Yeah, that's true, but
Yeah,
you can also
like
just finish the game by doing efficient trades with Professor of Taboos or vaporizing your opponent's board with Master Mage Levi. So there is multiple of options for you to close out the board, and after you close out the board you should win the game.
Yeah, I never really played this version. I tried the burned one, as I said, but yeah, it felt okay, but it's still like a bit aggro-ish for my taste, and I wasn't sure if I liked it enough. But yeah. So okay, so we made that, and we're gonna do a few games with that soon. I just want to show you the dragon deck before.
Okay, fine.
What do you think? Is it Storm or the regular control ramp is the better one now?
So right now, after seeing how the meta shifted, like at least for this week, where the aggro is the most popular, I would say the usual ramp might be better.
Really? But like, why? I mean,
Because of the healing factor.
Like Bahamut and with Lucifer and
Like Israfil's
well, the
and
actual
Lucifer's.
healing factor is basically. Yeah, but Israfil is only good if you have an Evo.
You also run Hackles in ramp.
Yeah, but then it doesn't heal.
Yeah, but it still deals with the board.
If you put Saha plus... Well, yeah. Yeah, okay, I haven't really changed anything in this one. I still have Dragon Summoner in it. And yeah, you said this deck is fine this way.
It's fine, but for the current meta you can take out the Ouroboros, and for example you can take out the Tina, one of them, and put out a Queen of the Dread Sea. Like 2 copies of her.
Oh, and what I'm doing with Queen, I'm like Zeus and something else?
Well, you can do Zeus, you can do Bahamut, you can do Lucifer, Israfil, like all of them are neutral. And for the dragon card you can do either a Polyphonic Roar or another dragon card. So for example Sibyl, Draconic Fervor.
So you would leave one Tina in?
Yeah, 1 is fine, should be enough. You can consider Dragon Skyter if you want to have some early game pressure, and you can also think about if you want to add the Dragon New Fist. Some people cut the... what was it called? They cut the Grimnir entirely, and I think there is no good reason to keep him out. You can replace him with the Dragon Skyter, like 1 copy, and Dragon New Fist, 2 copies of it. Like this removals excels right now. And the Dragon Fist is good, and that's because of all of the ambush creatures in Swordcraft.
Yeah, but it discards something, that's my problem with the fist.
Yeah, but it discards the lowest card, so it shouldn't be your concern at the moment. Like, you'd rather discard the card, or rather kill an opponent creature. That's what you have to think about when casting this card.
Okay, so no Ouroboros and no one Tina, you said. I don't like Tina in it that much. I mean, there's no neutrals to play. To play her on, and most likely I will skip my turn 4 anyway with like ramp. So I would maybe take out the Tina for 1 more Ayala or 1 more Scyther.
You can take out the Tina and
or 1 more Conflag.
I think instead of Tina you can just add the Skyter. So
yeah, and
also,
Queen.
Yeah, also the other thing that you can consider is swapping the Dragon not the Dragon the Dragon Summoner for something like what was it called? The Luriel, the Celestial Archer. So she's one of the things that will help you establish the board. And she is also something that you can discard easily. Because right now you have no expensive dragon minions, so Luriel will be better in this kind of build.
I mean, isn't Summoner there to ensure that I have Ayala or Sibyl in my hand on the right turn?
Right now, yes, but because meta shifted towards aggro, the 1-2 body on the turn 4 doesn't cut it, while if you have a 2 and 2 body, then it can just trade. Because your late game is superior, and versus Blood you just want to be faster, same goes for the same versus Shadow, so before, like last week, the meta was kinda like some Seraphs, some Aegis, some Dimension Shift, and during the week it shifted towards all of the aggro stuff, so you have to find a way to beat aggro. Also, I would
So
run
here we
2
go.
queens, so you have to include 1 more queen.
So 2 queens and 2 Lyrios are enough.
Yep. It should be fine.
Okay, well, let's try again with this one because I'm going to be fine with Rune. I play Rune a lot now, so I think I have a good grasp of the craft.
Okay.
But Dragon is still like I'm not experienced with it enough, so I think I need your coaching with Dragon most right now, probably,
Okay.
if I want to play it. Just take a look at the Storm deck too before we start, and yeah. So you're saying that the Storm deck is not that good now?
If it was a lot of D-shifts and Haven, then it would be good. But because right now the most prevalent decks are the aggro decks, then their usual ramp is better.
Okay, then let's try a game with that.
Oh god, his static is killing me.
So you would say that now is Blood and Shadow, and then below is Rune and Dragon, or Haven?
I would say the Rune and Dragon are better than Haven. Also one thing, do you have something like, I don't know, noise gate or what was it called? Like the option on TeamSpeak, because when you are not talking, it's gaining a lot of static noise.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll try. I'll change something, 1 second.
Yeah, you can just change it to activate after you say something.
This one's
Yeah,
for my family.
so just please check them all again. I would probably dust it all, or maybe keep the Salamander.
Because you are going first, you can throw it off, like everything else, and try to find the ramp. Because when you are going first, you just want to find the ramp, so on the turn 5 with Evo, you want to go with Sibyl, or something else, like you want to have powerful Evo turn, while Breath of the Salamander, if he plays nothing on the turn 1, and even if he does play something on the turn 1, you still don't want to use Breath of the Salamander on the 1-2 creature. You'd rather wait for with it, tingle 10-6, so it's better to just redraw cards.
Yeah, makes sense. So is the mic better now?
Yeah, it's fine. Right now, it's okay. Like before, when you were not talking, it would just gain a lot of static noise and it would be like all the time. And right now, it's okay.
Yeah, so what would you play out now, Lyrio or Oracle? Since I'm first, I would probably Oracle now.
Okay, so right now, you would play the L'Oreal. I mean, Oracle is a tempting choice, but then again, on the next turn, you have no 4-drop, and you have no board, you have no removal. So if he plays a creature, then you want to remove his creature somehow. So assuming you play L'Oreal and he plays a 2-drop, you will trade his 2-drop with L'Oreal. Just treat it as a moving removal. You are free to play Ayala on the next turn, and you still have Dragon Oracle and Draconic Fervor for the later turns, so you can wait with this.
Also, we are playing Lyrial instead of Mushu because of the Evo, I think, right?
Yeah, evolution point is really important in this one. Like, Mushu is dealing some damage, but L'Oreal, if you're able to evolve her, then she can ping something, and that's really important with trades.
Okay, he played Glorious. So I can either play Ayala or Oracle. And probably IL is the better choice now. I can take 1 damage to face anyway, I have Fervor.
Yeah, IL's fine.
And then and then
now.
Lyrial for Urius or for face?
You should attack. Oh, but I see you draw Breath of the Salamander. Still, you should because you draw Breath of the Salamander, you go face with Lyrial. If you didn't hit the Breath of the Salamander, then you would attack the Urius to make sure he's gonna die next turn. But because you got Breath, then the next turn you're able to do both Dragon Oracle and Breath if something goes wrong. So IL is the play right now and attacking face.
Can't keep relying on you, Dragon.
Okay, so it's Blood Wolf and Urius. So I will kill the Blood Wolf with the Ayala, and then go for face with the Lyrial, play Oracle, and play Salamander.
Okay, so right now I see you got the second Breath of the Salamander, so that's correct. If you didn't get the second Breath of the Salamander, it would be wise to wait a turn and then use buffed up Breath, because you will be at good amount of mana. But because you got both copies, then you are free to trade it and use one of them. Like with Dragon, you just have to think about what are you gonna do with the next turn with the amount of mana. That's the only thing that you have to keep in mind. Like trades, health, sure, you will get your health eventually. Also, the other thing is, if you sacrifice Lyrial, you use Dragon Oracle and Breath, then next turn you are at 7 mana, so Conflagration is also a possibility if he swarms the board. But right now we can see that it's not possible for him to do with the 4 mana, or at least it shouldn't be. So you're in the leading spot.
Well, he flooded the board with Vania and 3 bats.
Well, even
I
if...
don't need Conflag. So...
Well, you have Breath of the Salamander, so you're still gonna kill the entire board.
Ooh, and I drew Sibyl too.
You made me angry. Go Bloodkin!
Hard choice. So you put Breath now and not think about Sibyl and evoing Sibyl and whatever.
No, it's not worth it. I mean, sure, Sibyl can fetch you free life, but the thing is, even if you gain free life, you're still leaving 3 bats on the board. That means, unless you use Breath of the Salamander and kill 1, so it still leaves 2 bats on the board. And some bloods run Vampiric Fortress, so you just want to remove his bats at side. Because if you leave even 1 bat on the board, then after he plays the Vampiric Fortress, he will spawn another one, maybe he will flood his board, so you just want to avoid situation like this.
So it's just Salamander.
Yeah, just Breath of the Salamander, and it's still okay.
I see, I see. Yeah, Dragon plays differently than Haven. I mean, I was trying to play like a Haven mind, but it's not the same. Even though it's a control deck too.
Yeah, it's kind of different. Because with Dragon you are gonna close the game with your big minions and such, and with Haven you can defend for years and then finish him off with single creature, be it Aegis, or with a single thing like Seraph.
Yeah. Okay, so now I could just Draconic Fervor and see what I draw, and just or I could Sibyl and Evo.
Fervor is better.
Kill the Sibyl. Yeah.
Because he shouldn't be able to kill you on the next turn, like 6 mana, fine, best he can do is Carabosse, and you have to ramp, so then next turn you can throw out the Bahamut on the board, and we'll see what he's gonna do about it.
Yeah.
Unless you find another way, or he will play something like Blood Wolf, evolve it, so then you can play Conflagration too, but Bahamut is probably way better, all in all.
I drew Saha and Sibyl.
Yeah, I see.
So you would say that what would you say is the best counter to Aggro Blood and Shadow now?
Well, I would say it goes like this, like the best counter to Shadow is another Shadow. Like all of the other classes, they can do just fine if they go first and find the aggro curve. But other than that, Shadow is just superior to all others at the moment. But Blood is really close.
Okay, now I shoot Bahamut, right?
Yeah, definitely. Because Bahamut is the only card that can clear the entire board at one sweep, and also being at 9 life means there is like combination of two cards that could kill you, but because he's not in Vengeance, then he cannot use the Dark General. Also, playing a Bahamut right now allows you to set up a little if he doesn't kill it.
Yeah. But you could have 2 Blood Wolves and a Razor Claw in hand, and that's a lethal.
Well, if you have 3 cards like this, when he have whole 4, then well, it's like a game against odds. It's still 29 cards in his deck, so sure, you still made the best play, and if he does something like this, then well, the chance is really low. And if you would play around it, like, how would you play around it? You can play Sahakel, Lucifer, Evil Sahakel, so you lose Evo point and trade into the Scarlet, because if you trade with Lucifer, then the Lucifer would die, so you would not gain health. So all in all, you would be left with the empty board, and that's not what you want.
Okay, so he put that Dwayne and the bats. So what I could do now is Conflag, maybe. Or I could Sybil and Evo the Sybil, but the only kills 1. Or I could put out 2 Sybils and stall a bit. Or I could just Conflag and go for face, but then I'm gonna put him in Vengeance. And I'm still not gonna finish him.
Okay, so the best thing right now you can do is play a double Sybil. Just evolve one of them, trade 2 creatures on the board, so you will be at 13, and with this amount of health he shouldn't be able to burst you. Especially after he just used both of the Venias. And he's only like 3 cards in hand.
Yeah, he's gonna have to give up. Yeah, he already disconnected, I think.
Be gone.
Okay. Yeah, like, it's really hard to overcome the battle when your opponent is healing for so much. Because you already healed with the Fervor, you kinda stopped him for a second there. And after Bahamut, he had really slow turn, and right now +6. So if he doesn't have Lethal right now, which he shouldn't have, because even with Evo and Bat on the board, he still requires 10 damage, he would still heal for another 6, which is impossible for him to overcome.
Yeah, he gave up. Yeah, I like this deck. It's very control-ish and very much my style.
Yeah, it's control-ish, but it's different than Haven in the sense that you control the board with your creatures and traits instead of spells. In Haven you have stuff like...
that's the weird thing for me, I think, for now.
Yeah, that's something like you have to learn, because with Haven you can just throw Themis and be fine, while here the Breath of the Salamander cannot deal with everything, and it still costs the same mana, and learning when to use the Enhance effect, when to use a Ramp turn 2, instead of creature, that's the deciding factors of the game. Because if you mess up the early game, then later on you will be like, okay, I'm missing 1 mana, I'm missing 1 mana, I'm missing 1 mana, and then you will be stuck. So you cannot allow this to happen.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, and the problem with like Control Rune is that it's like the Ginger version, then it's basically like Ramp Dragon without the ramp. And yeah, maybe the Ginger can like close it a bit, because there's no board clear that could clear Ginger now.
Huh? Yep.
This one's for my family.
I throw out my whole hand now, I think.
Yes, you throw everything. It's too expensive. And Dragon Skyter as a turn 3 when you are going second, it's not gonna work. It's not worth it at all.
Yeah. Okay, so just let's keep talking about Rune and about Ginger. So Ginger is still a meme, right?
Yeah, it still is. Like, it can do exceptionally well when you are like high rolling the entire day, but it's still the deck that's just not consistent enough.
And so, but is it better than the Queen Shift version?
I would still say the Queen Shift is better because Queen Shift, like we already said last time, you have the Freshman Lu, which can fetch.
Out of hand.
Yeah, it can fetch you a Dimension Shift like 100%, while with Ginger you have to draw your cards. You do not have a tutor for them.
Yeah. Should I still have another Delirial or just soak up a bit of damage? Because I have Sibyl anyway and...
You should kill her. Because your hand consists of like 5, 8, 10, 10, 10. So the next play you are gonna do, unless you top deck something, is gonna be turn 5. That's awfully a lot of time. And because your deck consists of a lot of expensive stuff, there is a chance that you will brick, you will not draw anything. So if you do not kill L'Oreal right now, he will attack you for 2, then the next turn he will just add up another monster, attack you for another amount of damage. And even if you heal with Sibyl, which is not possible unless you draw a ramp, because if you play Sibyl turn 5 she cannot heal you, then Breath of Salamander right now will just save you a lot of life.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like you look at your hand and we know that you have to draw something. Spartry Soldier, it might indicate the Neptis Shadow.
Yeah, so Lyrial, obviously.
Yeah, L'Oreal is okay.
Yeah, what do you think about Neptis Shadow now?
I think it's okay deck, but once again, like with the Neptis. With Neptis, the deck is semi-consistent, but a lot of them can excel. So they are still prone to hyper-aggressive decks or mid-range ones, so usual Shadow, like the normal mid-range Shadow, can easily beat it out. But it's okay versus aggro decks like Sword. Like versus Sword, Nep should do just fine.
I bricked really hard. Jesus. Yeah, so obviously Evo Delirio for something, and then hit one of them for 1 damage, or actually just hit face for 1 damage, and kill this Spartan Soldier. That's all I can do.
Well, do not hit face because he will heal with Unica, so you would just waste this 1 point of damage.
Oh yeah, so just hit Unica then.
Uh-huh, yeah. I mean, right now it probably doesn't matter, but hitting Unica is better because chances are he's gonna sacrifice his Larging Corpse anyway, so damage on him would be rendered useless. While with Unica, we don't know yet if it's gonna matter or not, but it's still better to hit something that will have damage persist on it instead of the Larging Corpse.
Wings are killing all part of the job. La 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 la.
Yeah, see, so he sacrificed it, it's fine.
Yeah, so now Sybil.
Yeah.
Evo it. I know she won't heal me, but she ramps me at least.
To be honest, you don't need to evo her. Just play her out on the board and that's fine.
Oh, so it doesn't matter if I don't clear out the Unica.
Yeah, because you are not playing versus aggressive archetype. Like, neither he is showing aggressive cards and neither he have a board presence. So if you play her just as a 4-5 on the board, it's okay. You just want to save your evolution for more important parts. And also another thing, even if he would evolve Unica, then Unica alone cannot kill Sibyl. and you got Breath of the Salamander, so if he evolves something else, then the Unica is gonna die alongside it. You do not care too much about this 2 damage if he goes face, because you got both of Lucifer, so even if you play Lucifer on the board, it's like plus 4 HP, and then you have another one. And you got Zeus, Bahamut, you get a lot of stuff that you can work with later on, if you survive, but it looks like you're gonna survive, so...
He put Death's Breath.
And had exactly 6 shadows, I see.
Yeah. So all I can do now is Breath, because I drew Fist, which would discard Breath or Lucifer, and I don't want that.
All must
So
come to an
I
end.
will Breath, and then one of the creatures will survive with one HP.
Yeah, it's totally fine, just use Breath and then only the creature, like the 2-1 zombie, will survive. That's okay.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a threat that you have to deal with, that's not a threat that's gonna be hard for you.
Tane. I couldn't ramp at all. Really unlucky. And I drew an Olivia. Okay, so I can play out Lucifer now, basically, and then just heal.
Yeah, this is a really bad situation, to be honest.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I'll just heal, that's all.
Yeah, you should just play Lucifer and heal. I mean, he's still gonna be able to get rid of the Lucifer, like with this, I suppose. But well, you have no other choice. If you only had something cheaper than the Dragon Fist and something cheaper would solve the day, but right now, if you go with Lucifer and trade a zombie, then you will get hit into the face for 2, you don't want that, so just heal yourself and hope he doesn't run Ector in this weird build of his.
Yeah.
May all life prosper and be blessed. Glory!
This is a really unlucky hand.
Well, from time to time you will just break, drawing all of your 10 drops. Happens. Like, that's the stuff you have to deal with when playing ramp, that accept the unlucky situations.
You've removed the Lucifer with damn lurching herbs. So cheap.
I see.
Yeah, well, this is basically it. I can't really come back from
Destiny
this.
calls.
So I couldn't ramp at all. I drew an Ayala.
This fate is
Yeah,
unjust.
just surrender.
I wouldn't say you need to surrender, like, it's still fine. I still didn't die yet. But yeah, looks like you're gonna
What
die.
would you do?
Okay, yeah, I see now that he attacked, so when you are 6 then it's possible. That's true.
Yeah, so just
Yeah, just concede.
that's all.
Like, the HP didn't update for me, and I saw it later on. So with 6 HP there is nothing that you can accomplish.
Sad. But well, it happens. This is the main difference between Haven and Dragon. Haven can never really break so hard.
That's true.
I mean,
There's no
yeah,
one
you can
else
have
I'd rather
2
race.
mages in hand, maybe 3 curates in hand, but yeah, that's like the same, and even then, it's like not that hard of a break. Yeah, so Dragon has this downside to it.
Yeah, that's like the price you have to pay when you run a lot of big expensive minions and some ramp in your deck. Like, if it was on the downside of the deck, then it would be just powerful if you wouldn't be punished for stuff like this. This would be, like, if this game had system like Duelist, it would be really good for Dragon, But of course it's not gonna happen. So in the Duelist, it's like another card game slash board game online. So
Yeah, I know that.
okay, so if you know that like, every turn you can replace one card from your hand to another. So it's the game where the ramp didn't really exist, and like that's the main reason why the designers didn't put it in. Like imagine game with ramp decks like this one, like let's say Shadowverse, where in Dragon you could replace one card every turn. You would just toss out everything that's too expensive and try to find a ramp. That would be too good. Same goes for the aggro decks. You don't find your one drop, well, then just try to replace and find it. Same goes for the dimension shifts and all of the combo decks. Like this mechanic wouldn't work here too well. It will just destroy the game.
Yeah. Okay, Drew, Zeus, Queen, and Lyriel. Just keep the Lyriel versus Sword. And I'm going first.
Yeah, L'Oreal is fine. And if you're going first, then it's even better because you will be able to pull something on that turn too. So in ideal world, in ideal world you would also get Dragon Your Fist, so you'll be able to deal with Frog if he plays one. But we have no idea yet what kind of sword is he playing.
But at least I have my Ayala, so I can put Lyriel and Ayala out on 2 and 3, and then ramp later on with Oracle.
Unless you draw something else.
It didn't put out anything, so I can just put out. Shall I put out Lyriel or Oracle now? I think I'll put out Oracle now because he cannot put really anything besides maybe a Kunaichi. If it's aggro, if it's mid-range, then Maisie, Lyriel, or something.
Well,
like
that's the same case as with Blood. So you just play Lyriel. You have nothing to play on turn 4 that would cost 4 mana, so playing Dragon Oracle right now means you're skipping 1 play point on the turn 3, because you will have 4 mana and only 3 to spend. So it's still better to play L'Oreal. Like, do you need this ramp right now? What are you gonna achieve with it? Like, the next creature you're gonna ramp to is Sahakel, which costs 7, so you're still relying on being lucky with your draws. While if you put the body on the board, then you are just able to make trades. And if you put L'Oreal and Ayla, it's just like double bodies. Ramp is important. Go ahead.
Yes, so this doesn't even have 4 drops, so basically, if this is what you're saying, it's never going to be worth it to play Oracle on 2 if I have something else to play.
Well, it's worth if you, for example, got double of the 2 drops, or you got a 3 drop and 1 drop. So Blazing Breath and Ayala, Blazing Breath and Skyter, Dragon Oracle, Dragon Your Fist, Breath of the Salamander. Like, these are multiple things that you can play on the turn 4, which doesn't cost 4, like, but they add up to itself. So that's how it goes. And in your hand, you do not have the cards that can add up, so you would still rely on luck. And ramping is super important in mirrors. Ramping is really important versus Haven, but versus creature matchup, like this one versus Sword, you would rather have creatures on the board instead of something else.
Yeah, it seems to be Control Sword, so I'll play out Ayala now.
They would just play Ayala on curve and go face.
Yeah, it's most likely Control Sword. With the Hedgehog, or...
Yeah, we cannot say for sure, like maybe he's like, okay, so I play Aggro Sword and I will put a Hedgehog because I like it. There is no bigger meaning besides this creature right now.
Okay, so I can either Dragon Your Fist now, and then get rid of the Oracle, and that kills the Hedgehog, or kill, or just, because I cannot kill the Hedgehog with Ayala, and if I just crush it into it, then it's just gonna be 3-3 next turn.
Okay, but it's still fine. You can crash into it, and then you can...
I'll have Sakia next turn anyway.
Yeah, if you use a Dragon Oracle and sacrifice Ayala, then it's okay. So
Yeah,
you don't need to use
that's what I have to do.
Dragon Fist. Yeah, that's what you have to do. Sure, you will tank 3 damage, that's not what you want to achieve, but because you will have Sahakel and you will get Evolution Point, you will be able to deal with 2 targets. Also, there is a Dragon Fist possibility if you draw something else. So we'll see how it goes, but all in all, in this point you should ramp, because you're able to skip 2 turns.
Mr. Dragon,
Maid leader.
I've got to take a break.
Another maid leader. And he will be hedgehog for 5 damage. Oh god.
Welcome home, sir.
But at least I have Sakya. Let's hope I draw
Welcome home,
Zipper
sir.
or Conflag. Yeah,
You are done
I can
for.
just Conflag them. Yeah, that's the only play that I should do now.
No. No, do not use Conflagration.
And then Bahamut. Do not?
Do not use Conflagration. The reason is, if he plays some creatures with ambush, then you have no way of dealing with them besides the Bahamut, which is still 3 turns of you. So it's better to play Sahakel and with Bahamut.
Yeah, and kill the hedgehog.
Yeah, and also you can evolve Sahakel and kill the maid leader, just to leave something on the board. You got Olivia nonetheless, so you will regain your evolution points.
Yeah.
Fighting is so cruel.
I really like Sakya's attack animation.
Yeah, some of the legendary animations are really cool.
Destroy our foes. Say down you go.
She's like shooting the lasers out of her. It's so cool.
Yeah, she feels like Lux from League of Legends.
Yeah, in essence, true. So for now it looks good in a way that he only got 5 mana and you will be at 8. So there is a lot of top decks that you can do at this point of game. And also you got removals. Sure, 13 life is not a happy place, but because of his 5 mana you still should be able to overcome the
My
weaknesses.
sword brings hope.
uh,
It won't be long now.
play Luminous Mage, evoke
Shining
the
Paladin,
Knight, and then
attack!
went for face for 2 damage. Yeah. So I can conflag now and go for face.
Oh, he went
Wait,
face,
so
that's
cute.
interesting. Huh?
Yeah.
Uh,
So conflag and face.
Okay, so Conflagration and Phase is really tempting, but it's not what you should do right now, because it will put your Sahakel into a place where she's like a 6-1, so she can die to anything. It's just better to make use of the Dragon Fist now, so you can attack the Luminous Mage and then use Dragon Fist. So it will discard the other Dragon Fist, it will just empty the space on the board, and you will be left like with the 6-3. Which is better. You do not attack. You don't need to attack him for 6 in the face right now. Once again, you would rather save the Conflagration for the moment where you really need it. So let's say, for example, he spawns some ambushes on the board next turn. Then you either have to be lucky with the Dragon Youth or wait a turn. Just you need to be safe till the Bahamut comes. This 6 damage wouldn't amount to anything at all. Because if you're gonna win by damage, you're still gonna win by the Bahamut attack or something else.
Apologies, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, this is so much different from Haven, because I see conflag as like a discount damage. And like in Haven I would like immediately cast it. And feels like you have to think more. This is a lot more different, yeah. So you put out Yano and killed Saha, so he has 2 knights on board.
Yep. So right now, Conflagration is fine.
So now I conflag for 1. Oh my god! So like I'm gonna conflag for two 1/1s.
Yeah, because you do not care. You only care about the thing that you are destroying his board. So the next turn you got 10 mana, so you ramped up to Bahamut. That's the only thing you care. Like, you treat Conflagration as a tool to clear the board, while you have no mana for Bahamut, and when you have mana for Bahamut, then you can do a lot of awesome things with it, so... If you want to be greedy, you can play the Dark Angel, and if you play the Dark Angel, then it's gonna be hard. But I see you already played the Conflagration, this is good. So, Front Guard General, if I recall correctly, it was the 5/6 which spawned something on the board, right?
Yeah, but I drew Sibyl, so I can put down Sibyl, evo it, and then kill it, and then heal for free. Or I can Zeus, and then I have a ward on board.
Well, or you can just Bahamut, evolve Bahamut, kill the ward, and set up a lethal.
Yeah, I forgot that I can evo. Yeah, makes sense.
Because then you are left with creature that's like 50 to 30, something like this. You still got Zeus, so with him you got lethal. Because if you play Sibyl and kill, fine, you killed something, but you are still leaving him with a creature on the board. And that's not what you want to do. While by doing so, right now, you are just diminishing his ability to attack. And as we all knew, you want to prevent Sword from leaving you at that 10 HP.
Oh, he played Roland. That's bad. Bad Roland.
I got the incorruptible blade.
Okay, so basically I can either Zeus now, and then go for face, and leave something on board. Or I can Olivia to fill up my evil points again, and then next turn I can do something nice. I wouldn't play Sibyl now because that's like, then I cannot kill the Roland. So I think the best play now is Zeus and then Bahamut for face for 4 damage.
Well, that's true. I mean, you can still consider Bahamut right now, but it's not needed, so Zeus is better because it's guarding your face at the moment.
Yeah.
And also it's good because he just showed he had no Tsubaki in hand, and Zeus will protect you from the Albert and such.
Yeah.
I am the Father, the God of all. Thunderbolt!
This blade is yours.
I mean, Bahamut would still be fine because Bahamut would destroy the Durandal, the artifact that's left on the board, and still set up a lethal, but then if he played another Roland, then it would get really nasty. So the Zeus idea is probably way better at the moment.
Yeah, he removes Zeus with the Yano and the fire the hell is that? I forgot the name. Yeah, so now what I can do is
The gods
I can either
cannot
Bahamut
rise.
to clear the board because I will still survive Albert with 1 HP. Or I can Lucifer to heal myself, or I can Olivia to.
Okay, so right now, you can play Lucifer. And
For the heal.
yeah, for the heal, like you have nothing else, and attack with Bahamut. Because in a sense, he will just heal you for 4. He's still a 6/7 body. That's a lot to consider. Because if you play Olivia, fine, you can trade with his creatures. Then he will play his Albert, leave you at 1, and then what? You cannot kill him. So you just play Lucifer and heal for 4, and he's left with the trades on the board.
Yeah.
It's like, as long as he doesn't have Albert, it's okay. And right now, he didn't show too much of an ability to have him. And even if he does, then it's still not enough to do so.
And I got another Bahamut.
Yeah, and
He
it's...
has Lucifer too.
What? Okay, that's really interesting.
Some wallet control sword, weird thingy. And he evoed the Lucifer, killed mine.
May all life
Oh, he
prosper
set up an Albert
and be
evil now.
blessed.
It all ends here.
Yeah, but it's still not enough because I got Sybil.
Once I believed.
So I have Dragon Sighter in my hand.
This fate is
So I will put
unjust.
down Dragon Sighter and kill the Lucifer. I will put down Sybil and heal for 3 and kill the Knight with the Bahamut.
Yeah, just do so. Ha, Lucifer, that's so nasty, like, what the hell? From the sword? That's something that you would never expect.
Or shall I go face with Bahamut or kill the Knight?
You should kill the knight. Like, sure, it's tempting to go face, but it's 4 damage. It's not like you can finish the game right now, and clearing the board will just allow you for a better control of the things. Like, even if you do 4 damage into his face, the next turn you cannot kill him unless you destroy the Randall. While if you kill the soldier, then you are preventing him swarming the board, because if he, let's say, if he swarms the board, then once again you cannot attack his face with the Bahamut, and you just want to make sure that he doesn't do a chipping damage into your face. Because then he can just chip damage little by little every turn, while you just want to draw a card that kills you.
Yeah. He played Mage Leader, so he probably has Albert by now. And he put down a front guard general, evoed it, and going to kill my Sybil, obviously.
Welcome home, sir.
Okay. I drew another Sybil, but I think the best choice now
You're
is
done
to
for.
kill the front guard with the Bahamut, then drop down my other Bahamut, and then I will kill the Randall.
All must come to an
Cannot kill
end.
Bahamut unless he has a Bahamut too.
Or unless he got a Tsubaki, Dance of Death, or Fang Blitzer, like there is some outs that he can have still. But yeah, that's the best play that you can do right now.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, there is also an option of trying to establish a board control with Olivia, so trading with the general, playing Olivia, killing the small stuff. But if you drop the Bahamut right now, you are like, okay, you kill my Bahamut or you lose the game. That's how it's gonna be at the moment.
Oh my god, he had Momo. And another Roland.
Another Roland. Well, that sounds crazy. And what's Momo? I don't know the card.
The Clash kill a big follower thingy with Rush.
Oh, I see, on the board right now. Wow, his deck is so freaking strange.
It's like just against Dragon.
Hmm.
Okay, Olivia maybe? Or... because I need the Evo points back somehow, and I don't think I will have breathing room to put it down. I can put down Sybil and Ayala now, but will that be enough?
Sybil and Ayala is fine, because she will heal you for free, and you cannot kill the Roland with Olivia. Like, that's the main reason.
Yeah.
If you would be able to kill, then yeah,
God.
but other than that, I'm not.
Maybe it doesn't even have an Albert.
Maybe. Like, there is also a chance he doesn't. Like, right now, he's out of Evo points, so that's a good thing for you. But, well, the bad thing is that, once again, he got the Durandal, so he found the perfect answer. Or maybe he had it in hand.
You keep relying on
We don't
me,
know it.
Dragon.
Yeah. Another Luminous Mage and Blitz Lancer.
His deck is
I don't know
like...
if I have a third Bahamut in my deck. I think I do.
Yeah, you should have.
Done in a jiffy.
I'm pretty sure I do.
You and I, Knight.
Yeah, so he could kill
My
my Sybil
sword
with
brings
the Roland because he evoked the Luminous Knight.
It won't be
I
long
really
now.
need Sybil and the Bahamut now.
Shining Paladin.
I got the Lucifer. So I think my best choice is to Olivia, finally.
All
He
must
will the
come to an
Olivia and
end.
kill the Roland.
Yeah, do so. I mean, it's still gonna be hard, because if he finds Albert, then he's gonna kill you. But you have to do something.
How? Oh yeah, because he can evo it with the mage. Ugh.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah, but he will do the same either way.
That's...
If I put down Lucifer, he's... No, then he will be one-off lethal.
Then he'll be one off, but if you play Lucifer, then he's just gonna trade him somehow, so it's still better to play Olivia. regain your Evo points and pray for luck. It's a shame that you don't draw Breath of the Salamander. It would clear the entire board at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever, like, your opponent is playing just a pile of cards that he put up together. That's not a real deck, so you shouldn't worry about it, about the things that you have no influence on.
Yeah, he had the outburst.
This blade is your mine.
Yeah, it's over.
This blade is
Wow.
yours.
This is some kind of weird control sword deck.
Well, like I said, it's like, I wouldn't even call it a deck. It's still like a bunch of cards that he put up together, because it have no consistency when you run something like this, because he had mate leaders. Why you need mate leaders? To get commanders, but we already saw, like... For fuck's sake, kurwa, czemu to się rozłączyło? A jebie.
Yeah, so basically I lost.
Okay, so I disconnected for a second. So what was I saying that I don't know where it cut me off, but I
I
was.
don't know, but even though I got Queen in hand and Lucifer, I cannot kill the Albert, so I lost.
Yeah, there is. That's not possible for you to kill Albert, so that's true. So what I was talking about, that what he had was not a deck in the sense that it wasn't a consistent one, because he had mate leaders, he had 3 different generals at least, like 4 different, because he had Front Guard, a Roland, Luminous Mage and Albert, so his deck had no consistency. He had random Lucifers, which once again he cannot fetch for. He had something like this Momo girl, or whatever she was called. It was like, once again, it's just a random card that he put in the deck, so it just works somehow. I mean, it worked, but it's not consistent, so on the long run he's on the losing end.
Yeah, probably. Okay, how about we take a short break, and I'm gonna have to jump to the toilet, and then we'll continue shortly.
Okay, just tell me when you're back.
Alright, thank you.
Okay, so while he's back, I guess I can play one game on my own. Like, until he's back, so... He left to do stuff, so I'm free to launch up the Shadowverse on my own. Maybe check the daily screens, the daily rewards or something. We'll see how it goes. At least it reconnected, so I regained the connection. It's great. And now maybe it's malfunction due to heat. Like, it's so hot right here that momentarily it's impossible to breathe and such. So win 1 match, will followers. Okay, let's replace the win 1 match. Win 4 match and he will follower 5 times. So, well, because I got arena that I have to attend anyway, then I will just draft an arena. It's also a good learning experience for a moment. So let it be the Bloodcraft. Okay, Warfiend, Fortress Knight and Azazel. So Azazel is not good. Warfiend is exceptionally awesome because of his rush ability, his 5/7 drop, and he can destroy something, draw a card. If he doesn't, he's not destroyed, so he's good. Vampiric Fortress, not exactly great, but it's still better than Sadistic Knight. Beast Dominator is a joke card. Same. Azazel, maybe not the same, but still. Trial Nightmare versus Werewolf and Urius. So Werewolf is fine, like it's like 4 mana to 5 that can gain Bane somehow. Urius is really good, superior to drop. Nightmare is nothing, and Demonic Trial, it can be a big body for 6 mana, but that's not what you want to aim with this. Mask is a trash card. Fangs, it requires neutral for war, so it's already disqualified from this one. Airjammer and Hungering Court will be the pick here. Okay, another one, Blood Pact and Urius versus General and Charmer. Charmer is really good, aggressive drop. The General is really good, late game aggressive drop, while Blood Pact can draw you some cards. Card advantage is super important in the arena, and Urius, as we already said, the Urius is really good to drop. So I will go with the Blood Pact for the late game shenanigans. Simulacrum and Feria versus Test and Strix. So Test is a trash card, once again Strix is a really bad one. Simulacrum on the other hand, that's one of the worst possible cards for the take two. But Feria is 2 mana 22, so she's a vanilla minion and I can consider taking her. Okay, so right here, Precious Bloodfangs, this one at least works with the Vampiric Fortress, so it have inherited synergy, but Scarlet Saber is too good of a card, cannot skip her. I mean, Bandersnatch can put me Ice Beat Warfiend if I play him with Rush and Enhance, so that's interesting. Medusa's Gaze is really good removal, but Scarlet is just too good, she is too much of a value. And the same goes for this one, Big Knuckle Bodyguard. Doesn't matter that here's Stealth, and on the other hand there is the Demonic Hedonist and Civic Vampire. Big Knuckle Bodyguard is one of the best 4-drops in the game, probably the best 4-drop in the game, if we take out all of the such. And Lyrial and Goblin Eater. Goblin Eater was nerfed, but he's still fine on Arena. Lyrial is perfect for Arena. Bullet and Jolling Knight mech. Even though they would fulfill the 3-drop mana curve, I'd rather find better 3-drops. Moriana and Brazen versus Urius and Blood Pact. Well, let's just go into multiple 2-drops. Lucius and Fina versus Princess and Lyrial. Princess is perfect, Fortune Hunter Fina is great. I have a lot of 2-drops, so that makes the Goblin Mage inconsistent on the other hand. But the Goblin Princess is just better, it's 3 bodies on the board, and Lyrial is removal on its own. So I was looking for 3-drops, I find one, Disagreeable Demon, perfect. She got Ward, she got for free if opponent have nothing, so it's either aggro after my 2-drop or defense. And the Vampiric Kiss can just help me remain in the game, so hyper aggressive blood on the arena looks like it. And yeah, it will look like it, because Scarlet Saber and Boy Who Cried Wolf, so I have no synergy with the Fortress. Right now I have no way of making the bats, but I'd rather not take Precious Bloodfangs, that's not worth it. Boy Who Cried Wolf, that's just aggro creature, and Scarlet, once again we said, she is a really cool one. Lucius and Elta versus Knight and Spear, so Spear only comes down with the neutral followers, but I got Feria, I got Lyrial, Simulacrum is also neutral, so same goes for the Goblin Princess and Goblin Leader, so I got some neutral synergy that I can make use for. And Angelic Knight, she or he, I guess she, because she got a breastplate, is also a neutral one, so in this case the Valkyrie Spear might not be such a trash as we think this. Big Knuckle Bodyguard, yeah, let's just go with it. And the last pick, oh well, Odin and Maelstrom versus Alice and Mastema. So Alice and Mastema would really fit, like, especially the Alice, she would really fit the neutral dim of the deck. But Odin and Serpent is a card that wins the game out of blue on the arena, so cannot skip this one. And Odin, it's really good. So let's see the deck. I literally have nothing that spawns, but yeah, so Vampiric Fortress is a dead card. It's like a dead card. I play it and it stays on the board and I'm crying alone in the corner, so that's not the case. I won't even play it, to be honest, because Milestone Serpent is like -1 Serpent at some point of the game, -1 Goblin from the Goblin Leader. Odin can deal with threats that cannot be dealt with otherwise. Serpent is worst case scenario, it's 8 mana, 10-10 split between 2 bodies. So this doesn't look too bad. Like, I'm 100%, maybe not 100%, but most of the time I'm guaranteed I will get a 2-drop. Over half of my deck is made of 2-drops. And let's see, how many of them are not creatures? So we got Valkyrie Spear, we got Kiss, Horde, Gaze, and Fortress. So that makes 5. So still 12 of the 2-drops are creatures. Okay, oh, sorry, not 12. 10 of the 2-drops are creatures, and Demonic Simulacrum is not quite a creature because he still will not be played. But there's a lot of good stuff that I can draw, and I will just mulligan till I find the correct one. 3 drops,
Okay,
there's
back.
only 3 of them.
I'm waiting if you're still here.
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, so I will just end explaining and go to the actual coaching.
Yeah, so we can continue.
Huh? Let's do so.
Yeah, we're gonna play one more dragon match, then we're gonna switch to Rune.
Okay.
Because I want to hear some thoughts on the playstyle of Rune while we are playing it as well. Because I plan to play Rune
Okay,
and
that's fine.
Dragon now, mainly. Yeah, I'm gonna drop Haven a bit now. I already played it enough, and maybe I'll play it when it comes back to the meta, or at least a bit stronger. But I mean, Haven is like tier 2 now, not even tier 1.
Yeah, it's not
So-
tier 1.
Okay, Sizure, Sahakiel and Oracle versus Blood. So I think I'll drop out Sahakiel and Sizure and keep just Oracle and wait for something good to drop in my hand, and let's hope it's not just 10.4 play point followers.
This one's for my
Or should I
family.
keep Sizure as well?
Time to get started.
No, only keep Dragon Oracle, because Skyter, if you do not drop him by the turn 7, he still requires Evolution Point, or he will be dealt with something like Hungering Horde, Raspberry Claw, or he will just trade his 2-drop into it, because most of the 2-drops are 2 and 2, or even stats. So the only case where Dragon Skyter would be good would be versus the Imp, the 1/4 for 2 mana that deals damage, but she's not so common nowadays, so only keep a Dragon Oracle and try to find something that fits the Imp better.
Yeah, I got Lyriel, another Oracle, Sibyl and Bahamut now. That's really good. So I think I'll put out Lyriel now. Because again, I don't have anything to play on the turn 4, as you said.
Yeah, L'Oreal is okay. I mean, ramping is fine, because then the turn 4 you could potentially play L'Oreal and Thunder Oracle, but the thing is, you still require turn 5 for Sibyl to work, because you don't want to play Sibyl without ramp, and L'Oreal can deal with Ambling Crave, because I see he played one, so you just want to play a creature that will oppress him. So your creature is bigger than his, so either you will force him into uncomfortable trade, or you have to use something like spell to kill her.
Yeah.
Like, that's the reason why the Dragon Summoners were dropped, because, like I said, there's a lot of aggro, and the 2-drop that actually have 2 attack stats in front of it can deal with something like this, while Dragon Summoner wouldn't.
Okay, very good. I drew Blazing Breath, so I Oracle and Blazing Breath, one of the followers, and then kill the other one with Lyriel.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I still cannot drop Sibyl next turn because it won't give me ramp.
Yeah, you just have to hope that you will draw something. I mean, you can, but he's the one with the evolution point first, so it's like even more reason to not do it.
Yeah, he dropped Disagreeable, and I drew a Saha. So I think I'll just Dragon Oracle now then, or I can put down Sibyl as a ward.
But if you do not do a Dragon Oracle right now and put a Sibyl, then the next turn you cannot drop Saha. While if you play a Dragon Oracle now, then the next turn you can play Sahakiel with something. So it's better to have multiple possibilities.
Yeah, so the 4 damage will be fine to my face.
Yeah, I mean,
Potentially 6 if-
you have nothing to prevent it. Like, even if you play Sibyl, then he will play his creature, evo it, and kill Sibyl. So that's what's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
Oracle in this case is better.
Okay, Vania and he evolved.
Ow!
So I can
It's me!
Saha now, Bahamut with one of them, and kill the other one with Saha.
And what did you draw?
Or I can Sibyl, Draconic Fervor.
Okay.
So I can either Sibyl and then heal and then kill one of the creatures, or Saha Baha and then kill 2 and no heal.
Okay, so right now you are like on the verge of dying, so it's super hard to make a correct play. But if you do the Sibyl and kill only one of them, then you are actually, let's say you are healing for 3 and he's healing your face for 4. So you are healing for -1, while if you do the Saha kill and Bahamut and kill both targets, then you are actually above this, because he will not deal 4 damage to you. That's why Saha and Bahamut is better. Like, it would be fine if Sibyl could ramp you through the entire way to the Bahamut, but it cannot. So, or if you had Blazing Breath, for example, but because you do not, then you have to do the Saha kill and Bahamut. The really bad thing is, though, you never drew your Israfil set. Like, in any game, you didn't get it, or Lucifer. That would be super cool, while the next turn, there's a chance that you could die.
Yeah.
Be gone.
Okay, Hero Divania.
Destroy our foes, sacred ones. Down you go.
1 damage to my face and Blood Wolf.
Ugh, wish I
2
tried
damage to
harder.
my face and 4, and I'm on 2. And he had Razor Claw. Sad.
Well,
Oh, well, I
he
can
just had
do
a really good
damage.
hand.
Check this out. Now you made me angry. Go blood
Yeah, so this is my problem with control decks right now, that they are really hard to like hold out versus aggro blood. Blood is a bigger problem for me than Shadow.
You're a solid fighter.
I don't really know what to play to beat blood. Unless, of course, blood itself.
Well, you can beat Blood with Midrange Shadow.
Yeah, but it's not my playstyle.
I see. But I mean,
Much.
well, even if you were, let's say, even if you were playing Haven, then it would still be on the turn 5. No Themis possibility, so the same goes here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. That's it for Dragon now.
Okay.
And I'll practice it over the week. Also next week I will be on holiday, and I'll be next here on Thursday evening when we could meet up. So yeah, we could do next Thursday if that's okay for you.
Okay.
Next session. Or if you want another one this week, we can do like Sunday evening or Sunday anytime.
Okay, I don't know yet if I'm free on Sunday, so I will see.
Yeah, we'll see them.
Yeah, I will just message you on Discord with this. But the next Thursday sounds fine.
That's cool. Okay, so which rune deck to play now? I really want to show you the Control Queen.
Okay, so just quit up and play.
I really like this deck. I know it's not that consistent, and I haven't been able to climb with it at all. I get like a 5-win streak, then a 4-loss streak, and then I'm on 100 points again. Yeah, so it's not easy. Yeah, sadly this is not an easy meta for me, because I'm really not in favor of aggro decks. And yeah, I can't really find a control deck that's good enough versus Blood and Shadow. And yet, probably this Dragon deck is like the best one still, because it can deal with Shadow really good, really efficiently, but it struggles against aggro Blood.
Yeah, but that's because they just released a lot of good creatures. Like, that's the other problem that emerges. Like, what I was saying in the meta before, like, the one with blood, like the cat blood, abyss blood, like what everyone was saying, that after they nerf abyss, after they make some nerfs to the blood or neutral tribe, then the Carabosse and aggro blood is just gonna be good. Because aggro blood was really good before the Wonderland Dreams, like this was the deck that could survive on its own, and then they just added Carabosse to it for bounce that effect.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if you played Queen Shift at all. I will
guess
keep
you're
the
looking
glow
for a
now
fight.
because I'm against Haven and I can
fighting in
bounce with
despair
Gamulets.
all
And
you
I
know?
just basically need to stall.
Yeah, glow is fine, because then you can bounce either the Sacred Plea or Biscolaria or whatever 2-drop he presents, but it's of course the best use on Amulet.
Yay, I drew Witch's Cauldron. Perfect. And I have Dwarf Alchemist too, so I have a good 2-drop.
Sounds like a good mana curve to me.
Yeah. I drew Levi as well. Sadly, I'm going first, so there's not much of a use, but later on, probably.
But well, you are not playing against aggro. You're probably playing versus slower deck, so Levi is not that needed.
Okay, he played Aria, and I want to glow it now because he can just... I drew Lu, but I have time to play out Lu next turn anyway. I will glow the Aria now because he can just Dogma it next turn, and then he can play something else as well, like a plea. And if I bounce it back, then he cannot activate it with Dogma instantly next turn.
Yeah, that's a fine play. Also because you can play the Earth Essence on the board, so you'll just fill it up. And because you got Freshman Lu, you will need only one combo piece, so you need to survive till the turn 10 and drop Queen. Like draw her and play Queen, D-Shift and Israfil.
Yeah, I drew another Israfil, so actually I can either one of them. Because Israfil combo with Queen doesn't really require an Evo. It's still 17 damage without an Evo. Okay, he played Grimnir, interesting. But I cannot kill Grimnir, so I might as well just play out the Lu, and I will keep the Levi in my hand for Evo next turn.
Yeah, do not play him, because then the Priest of the Cudgel can be really devastating.
Yeah, but should I play the Lu now? Because then I give him a very valuable turn 4 Evo trade.
Well, even if you do, then your next turn is most likely the Levi and Crimson Sorcery, most of the time. Even if he does a good trade, then you do not care about it, because you got Calamicious Curse if he plays something that's expensive, and you don't want to draw the Dimension Shift. Like, you want to thin out your deck, you really need to draw a Queen. So if you play Freshman Lu now, you will draw the Dimension Shift out of your deck, and you're increasing your chances to draw Queen. Because let's assume you do not draw Queen until turn 10. What's gonna happen? Well, it's gonna be a disaster, because you're not gonna win. So you only have 6 more draws. So you just want to make sure that you want to draw her. I mean, 6 more draws with the natural turn drawing turn. Of course, you can find some tools to draw cards.
I think I will crash the Dwarf Alchemist into the Grimnir now, so it will leave it on 1 HP.
No, there is. It's not needed. Like, why would you want to do the trade that your opponent have to do? There is no need for that.
Okay.
I mean, let's assume he does Priest of the Cudgel and exile Alchemist and attack into the Freshman Lu. Then you can evolve Levi, shoot Crimson Sorcery into Grimnir and still kill Priest of the Cudgel. So that's considering being dead. If he does the double trade, like kills one with the Grimnir and the other with the Priest, then it's another story. But you can count that he's not gonna do such stuff. And even if he does, you still got Curse for the turn 6. So you don't care. You simply want to assemble a real combo, you don't care about his combo.
You were done
He
for.
plays no like a Hound, but sadly I cannot curse yet because it's just turn 5, so I drew a Lucifer. There's another combo piece that can be played potentially. So I'll just do Levi, kill the Hound, and kill the Grimnir with the spell.
No. Just pass the turn. Do you really need to play this Levi now? Because, well, it would prevent you, let's say, 6 damage. Do you really are afraid of getting 6 damage when you have Israfil, Lucifer, and you got Curse for the next turn? The Curse on the next turn can vaporize his entire board. So there is like no reason to. Also, the Snow White will go back to the board because she didn't die yet. So Calamicious Curse banishing her, that's the effect you want to achieve.
I know, but if I don't Levi, he can just evo the Hound now, and then Curse cannot banish it.
Well, that's like the only possible case, but do you really believe he's gonna evolve the Hunt? If he does, then still, okay, you will gain more damage into the face, but you're gonna kill the Hunt nonetheless on the turn 7. And turn 8, you have Lucifer, and then you got Israfils.
Yeah, but okay, I did that because the time went out, but why just keep Levi? What am I keeping him for?
You are not kinda keeping him, you just want to make the best use out of your Calamicious Curse, and you want to save your Evo points. Because maybe the Evo point on Israfil or Lucifer is gonna be better later on, you don't know it yet, and your opponent is not presenting you with enough amount of aggro.
He played on Arya and another Snow White, Jesus, and he did not evo the Hound. I would have evoed the Hound. So now I can just curse them all.
Yeah, you can, so you will gain the full value of the banishing effect.
And I drew a Saha, which is perfect for next turn.
No! Unbelievable!
I can pair it up with Lucifer for a good heal. Or, yeah. It's a Garuda. Yeah, I think I will Lucifer now, and then evolve the Saha. Yeah, that's the best play now. Because I could Witch Bolt and
No!
Red Spots, and
Unbelievable!
that's 5 plus 2, and then Levi, and then clear the whole board. But then I cannot heal. But if I do, and I won't have a body on board, obviously.
Okay, so the thing...
And the other way
Huh?
around...
Yeah.
Yeah, just say it because the time is going to be up, so just say what...
Okay,
What
so
you think?
you should do it with the Witch Bolt, Levi, and the Crimson Sorcery, so you should clear up the entire board. Also, you can use the Red Hot Ritual instead of the Sorcery, because it's probably possible to shoot up the Falcon instead of the Sorcery. Nonetheless...
Okay, I'll play out Levi first,
Okay.
so I can draw a card with Witch Bolt.
It's like, you just want to clear the entire board, and if you do the Saha kill Lucifer, sure, you will kill for 4, but then you are leaving him with a body on the board, which you really don't want to do. So unless it would be a Saha kill and Israfil, it's still gonna be the same, while right now we will just take advantage of the evolution point. So you are leaving him with the empty board, and he's not able to deal 9 damage to you, out of hand.
Yeah. And I drew Olivia so the evil points can be earned back. He put out the third Snow White and the Tina. So here the best play is Saha and Israfil and Crimson Sorcery into the Snow White.
Focus on your Inferno, Tina! Crystals of
Or
snow shimmer.
I can Saha, Lucy, Crimson and Evo the Saha. And
Huh?
next turn I can Olivia and get my Devo points.
Yep, that's fine, because then once again you will clear the entire board, you will gain 4 HP, and then you are regaining the board with the Olivia. So not only you spend all of your mana, but also you get out of lethal range, which is what you need. So like I said, Saha Keol, evolve it, Lucifer and Crimson Sorcery, so you can get rid of the entire board.
Fighting is so cruel.
I mean, once again, the only problem is that you only have 2 of the 3 combo pieces, so you do not...
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. I don't have
Crystals of
Queen,
snow shimmer.
I have until turn 10. Actually, I don't need him more because if he has Aegis,
It won't be long now.
which I doubt he has, but if he has Aegis, then he still cannot finish me before my turn 11.
Yeah. Also, you misplayed your attack. You could make the Saha kill 6-5 instead of the 6-4.
Really?
If you attack the Snow White first, then Crimson Sorcery in her, then yeah.
Focus on your Inferno, Tina!
Oh,
Let's
yes.
conclude.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
If my brother
Yeah,
can,
that's right.
I can!
Okay, so now I will just Olivia, Evo, and kill the Tina.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. Because of the Tina, it didn't matter, but yeah, if you did it in the different order, then it would be different, obviously.
Yeah. Where is that queen? I have 3 in this deck. Come on.
our desire.
Okay, he banished my Olivia. He put down a Curate, which is bad.
This ends here.
But even though I have to Lucy first, so if I would have drawn queen, which I didn't,
I'm sorry!
I could have still finished it. So, well, the best play now is... I wanna say it's Levi and Witch Bolt, because then I can draw a card. With Isra, I cannot draw a card. Levi, I could draw a card.
It's still better to play an Israfil because you're putting an immediate threat on the board. He have to deal with Israfil while the Levi can just ignore him. And if you still have one left Evo point, then Israfil is just better because with the Queen and Lucifer you will win the game.
Well, let's hope it doesn't have Aegis.
Fighting is so
Sorry,
sorrowful.
I'm sure it's... Oh, we need to Tribunal.
You're done for.
Tribunal is fine.
And an Aurea.
I will play a song
Tribunal
you
and
mustn't.
Aurea, and I drew another Saha. So I think I'll just put down Saha and Lucifer for some heal. Or I just pass.
You can just play Israfil, like another one.
Okay.
Sorrow is sounding.
Because once again you are putting a threat on the board that you have to deal with. You are going into the max HP. You have the Sahakel and Lucifer for the kills, and you need nothing else at the moment. So just Israfil on the board is fine. He's on the one card, so he will just draw another one, so he will have two. It's only two cards to operate with. That's really nothing versus your hand at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the... Here's another Tribunal.
Oh well, happens.
Fighting is
I
so
got
sorrowful.
cursed. So I just pass now. Or I can put out, I don't know, the Levi, but... For what?
There is no reason. You can just pass the turn and wait for what's gonna happen.
Oh, where is the
Sorrow
Queen?
is sounding.
Too bad I cannot two-shore it, but that would be a bit OP.
Yeah, that would be too strong.
Kaleidoscopic Glow. Alright, I'll bounce back the Aurea. Obviously.
Hmm?
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Red Ritual again. Oh!
Well, the longer the game goes,
Okay.
then in the better position you are. I mean, it's like the game of top decks, so you need to top deck the Queen to win the game, like 100%, while if he top decks Aegis, you still have way to survive for a little more. So Aegis is not an insta-win for him, while the Queen is insta-win for you. So you should be in the better position.
Yeah, okay. So I'll just pass now, that's all.
Yeah, you don't need to play anything. Like, even if you would play a creature, then the Tribunal would kill it.
Yeah, he put back the Aurea and the Hound. I'll just kill the Hound with the Ritual if I don't draw Queen. I drew Petrification. I'll just kill the Hound with the Ritual and that's all.
Well, with the Petrification you can also banish his area. So he have no outs for Garuda, no outs for, what was it called? For the Dogma. So you should totally get rid of the Abyssal area right now.
Aurea. Yeah, Petrification is a really cool spell.
Yeah, it is. Like, maybe this will make him surrender, we don't know it yet, but if you make his life miserable, then, well, who knows. That's also one of the ways.
Oh, he just passed. I just passed too. I don't have anything to play anyway.
Yeah, just pass.
See, this is what I like it's just I like long games, and you just like mind games and like just removing stuff. This is the control deck I like playing. I know it's not the best one. I drew a Levi. I'm on full hand, so I'll have to play out the Levi. It's some extra damage. He may have to deal with it.
Yeah, just do it. He have to do something about it. Oh, and I see he had a third area. That's nice of his. Sweet.
Yeah. Where is that Queen? Seriously. Maybe it's the last 3 cards. I used to have Veteran Alchemist
The
in
name's
this deck for
Levi,
some heal.
don't forget.
That is my other issue, that I don't have enough early heal in it. And I'm really dependent on having Lucifer and Saha in my hand. Also sometimes I have to remove stuff, but I only have like sigils to remove it, and my board fills up with sigils too much.
Yeah, so we have to
That's
play
the
some
issue.
creatures
You
that
go with that.
fills up the board.
We go with the Aria and put out the Grimnir. That's a really good curse target for me.
Ah, sounds like it.
And he wasted his last evil point on clearing my Levi.
Faye's golden wing will end you.
Poor Haven.
I am the mad
Yeah, I'll
cyclone.
just curse him.
No, just do your curse and get rid of everything on the board. Maybe you will draw the queen eventually.
Shall I put... I drew an alchemist. Shall I put down the alchemist and Earthright just so I can have something on board?
Yeah, you should, because then you will have a setup for another curse if something that we cannot imagine yet happens.
Yeah.
Also, that's a body on board, so it's good to have it.
Yeah, the Aegis has arrived, but he doesn't have heal for it, so it's just going to be 8 damage. I drew the queen! Yay!
Oh, finally, good job. Well,
It took like forever.
yeah, but if you didn't draw a queen, you'd still had like 2 turns, because on the first turn you can do the Sahakel and Lucifer, it would heal you for 4, then you could just dig for it. Also, you can also say that if you didn't draw it, then with some creature on the board, then you could cast a Dimension Shift like for 10 mana.
Yeah.
all life prosper.
Yeah, it was already on 10 mana.
Here comes some real magic. It won't be long now.
Still, yeah. This is a really long game.
Once
But
I
this is what I
believed.
like, you see. Like, this is my kind of game. I like long and controlled
I have
games.
lost.
I don't know. And it's just bad for me, because Shadowverse is really trying to push the fast
I've
games.
prevailed again.
So, yeah. This is why I really like the Freeze Mage in Hearthstone 2. With Alexstrasza and all that. That was really fun too. So it was like really long games, stalling, waiting for the Alexstrasza to arrive and then finish with Alexstrasza Pyro and something else.
Alright, now it's also one of the better decks, but of course the new expansion is gonna arrive, so the meta will change a little.
Freeze Mage is back again. Oh my god, that's such an old deck.
It was more of like the hybrid freeze mage, so it still used all of the good RNG cards and what was it called, the burn cards, so portals and such. It would just run all of the good stuff and Ice Look.
I guess you're looking for a fight.
Okay,
Time for me to
Ritual
prove
and Witch
myself.
Bolt against Forest. I'll keep Ritual and Witch Bolt for removal purposes and just toss Levi.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, we can argue about the Witch Bolt, but it's still okay. Because you need removals, after all. And we don't know if it's a
No,
neutral
I think Price
one
of Magic.
or no. Okay, Price of Magic is great.
Price of Magic could be buffed to banish for like 3 HP. 2 HP is like eh.
Well, it is, but it's also Earth Sigil, so that's why it's this way. Also, Banish effect is really
Yeah, but
good.
it's 3 mana.
Ah, it is.
So, I mean, for 3 mana, it would be okay to banish for 3 HP. Okay, it's Illyrial, I'll just remove it with Ritual.
Probably. So with Price of Magic, we don't know yet what kind of forest it's gonna be, but we already saw Delirial, so we can assume that he's running Kai'Sa, so we can save the Price of Magic for the ultimate carrot.
Goblin Mage. I don't know if I should remove the Goblin Mage with Witch Bolt or Price of Magic, or just put out Lu and Cauldron and just like don't care about the 2 damage.
Just use your Witch Bolt.
Burgeoning star.
You got 2 Witch Bolts, you got Price of Magic, and you do not have anything to use Airframe with. So you just want to survive for one more turn. You just don't want to take unnecessary damage at the moment.
Ooh, Alice. Okay, so now Levi and Lou.
Run away!
Both Levi and Lou is okay. I mean, even Levi alone is okay, so then the next turn you can take advantage of the low. But if you draw the dimension shift right now, then it's okay.
Okay. I'll do the Lou because I want to theme my deck a bit now.
It's like you just can consider that if you do not play Lou at the right now, then the next turn if you would play Lou, evolve her and use Witch Bolt, then you would draw a card. But that's like the only case where that's better.
I'm just a mage who's as old
Yeah,
as
maybe
dirt.
I'll keep it for that. I'll just put out the cauldron them.
Like, I mean, it's fine. He still have to deal with Levi. You got your removals, and you'd rather just draw a card.
There.
So you'd rather play out Lou now?
Let's play again.
No, I mean, you can save the Witch Bolt to draw from the Witch Bolt, because with the Freshman Lou, you are like 100% guaranteed that you will draw Dimension Shift, and thinning a deck is a fine choice, but then you have no creatures in your hand, so you will not take advantage of the Witch Bolt in the nearby future, and you want to do it. So
Yeah.
you can
Okay,
just
I'll
play a
out the
Cauldron.
and then-
Yeah, exactly, just play the
Yeah.
Cauldron and it's fine.
He played Hector. So now Lou and Witch Bolt,
Yeah, that's...
right?
yeah, wait, let me see. What did he play? Oh, Hector, okay. Okay. I see.
I'm all tuckered out.
So Lou and Witch Bolt?
Yep. You
Or
can...
is that a waste of like 2 damage?
Well, we could say it's a waste, but you already got Petrification, you got Crimson Sorcery, and you got Price of Magic, so you probably got all the tools necessary in your hand to do something. So you will draw a card, and that's what it counts. Also, obviously, you will remove some of the costs of the Dimension Shift, but well, it's only like 4 spells in your head, so it's not a lot, but maybe it will be in the later game, like in the previous game, it will matter.
I drew another Price of Magic. Lots of removal.
It's short for
I would prefer a curse in my hand soon. But
It won't be long
the
now.
Petrification will be really good for the Beauty and the Beast. So I'll keep it for that. Oh, let me draw a curse, please. Oh, no curse.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so all I can do now is... Okay, I'll bounce but Delirial with Glow and see what I draw, but most likely I will just do Crimson on the Alice and then banish it with Price of
the
Magic.
bone.
What do you think?
Okay, so right now, let me see it once again. So, you want to do Petrification on the Alice, right?
No! No!
Okay.
No.
So-
I'll
so-
keep Petrification for BMB.
Mm-hmm.
I'll Glow Delirial back, and then Crimson Alice, and then Price of Magic Alice.
Okay, so if you want to do it like this, then first do the Kaleidoscopic Glow on the L'Oreal, and we can see.
And see what we draw.
Yeah, exactly. So we can see, maybe you can draw something that's good for you.
I draw Levi, so that's good for next turn. So I'll still go through with the Crimson Sorcery and Price of Magic.
Which Levi did you draw? The old one or the new one? Like the young one?
The new one.
Okay,
Young one.
yeah, but yeah, like I said, it's probably still better to just get rid of the Alice right now. So Sorcery and Price of Magic. Because we could probably set up a board in a way that the new Levi would destroy his board and do a stuff, but you don't want to get hit into the face. Because even if it's neutral, maybe he run roaches, like, well, a lot of them still run roaches. So you just want to evade damage when necessary.
Tina and a Lyrial. So I could Levi now. Yeah, Yeah, but then I have to Evo to get the Tina, but I don't want to use my Evo point.
Yeah, you'd rather not at the moment.
So I'll just Levi and then take damage for the face for like 2 or 5. I have Lucifer and Israfil in my hand anyway.
Yeah, just use a Levi. If you're lucky, it's like 33%, maybe you will hit the Cauldron and draw a card.
No, wait, you think that the ER destruction is random?
Well, some of them are.
It's not.
Well, with
It
car...
always destroys the oldest sigil on the board.
Are you sure?
The name's Levi.
Yes.
Don't forget.
Oh, come on!
Okay, looks like a
Yes,
weren't
it's always
anything.
this way.
Okay, so it always destroys the one that was played first. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's good to know, like, well, I played a lot, and it's the first time I heard about it. Like, never saw anyone mentioning it.
Yeah, well, this is the case. Now you know.
Ah, okay, now I know. So it made me look bad, but, well, at least I learned something.
Okay.
You're done for! If my brother can,
Oh
I
god,
can!
I don't want to use...
Unbelievable!
I don't want to use petrification
To the melody.
up for Ariad, but I have to because otherwise I can't clear the
slipped up.
board. That's my only chance, sadly.
Yeah, you have to.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'll do it first, so let's see what I draw.
Yeah, like, when you just said it's not random, then right now you're guaranteed to draw it, right?
I drew a Saha. Yeah. So just Price of Magic that one, and I can still destroy Beauty and the Beast with Israfil.
Yeah, with Israfil, just with sheer force of damage, so that's fine.
Extraspheria and another Tina. Oh my god, how many Tinas does this bitch have? I need a curse. The curse will be so good now. Use the last evil point, I need a curse. And it's a witch's fucking cauldron. Although I could put down the alchemist and evo it, and then I can still get the curse.
People
probably.
rejoice.
It won't be long now!
Or I can just play Israfil and evo it,
I
and,
say.
or just play Saha and Israfil.
And Saha and Israfil is
I'd rather
probably...
play Saha and Lucifer.
Okay. I mean,
Right, so Saha Lucifer.
Saha Lucifer is fine. And you can also put up a Dwarf Alchemist on the board.
Yeah. I will kill the Tina.
Huh?
Because he has the most HP.
Yeah, that's a fine choice. Also because if you get other Kaleidoscopic Glow, by any chance that you can bounce the other two back while you cannot bounce Tina.
Fighting is so cruel.
Because you are on 20 HP, it's not looking that bad. And he only got 2 cards, so he shouldn't be able to screw you too much.
Lucius, I'm sorry!
Even with
I
another
don't
Ariad.
think he has Roach.
Even if he does, with 3 cards, he cannot combo it out properly. And, well, it just depends on how many, let's say, Ariads he have. Because Beauty and the Beast right now, it wouldn't be so good. Because of the amount of cards he have in
He gave
hand.
up, though.
Oh, that's probably because he saw Lucifer.
Yeah. Ooh, okay, so we can do one more because we started like 50 minutes later.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It's okay. See, that's why I love this deck. It's just, I don't know. I mean, we got lucky, but the Forest matchup is always really easy. I mean, I've never really lost versus Forest
I
with this deck
prevailed
before.
again.
Forest is
And
the
they
worst
haven't
class right
got
now.
blood. Well, yeah, and yeah, I saw some. I mean, most of the Forest decks are met, but like neutral PTP.
It's still too slow
mix
versus
between-
aggro.
Yeah, obviously. But it has some good control tools with like Elf Twins and Sylvan Justice. Also, most aggro decks do not have an answer to the turn 6 BMB. Connection timed out. Okay.
Okay, so I guess you have to retry.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to having Dory as my leader.
Oh yeah, she's the new one, that's true.
Too, but this picture is so bad. I like the other picture when she like stands like sideways. That's a lot better. This picture just, I don't know, she looks, her hair and her like face looks weird in it. Yeah, Doria will be good, and Moon or Mirage will be so good too for Haven. Oh yeah, that would be really cool. Yeah. Also, Dark General will be okay for Blood. I'm actually a bit sad that like SSL didn't win, but that was expected. Fairy Princess will be weird for Forest because the English voice sucks. I draw Queen, and I'm against Dragon, so I will keep the Queen in my hand.
Yeah, like, okay, that's fine. I mean, sure, so you are starting the game with 2 cards instead of with 3 cards, but you are giving yourself a chance that if you manage to survive till the turn 10, then, well,
for my family.
you are like guaranteed that you will be able to combo out.
Yeah, I'll just switch out the curse.
Yeah, just throw it out.
I got to glow, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, that's really good if he does play a 2-drop. If he doesn't, then just
And
ramp
I
it
got
out.
the Price of Magic, oh yeah, for Ayala.
Oh yeah, price is good. That's what I want to say, like, if he ramps up and plays Ayala, then you cannot bounce her back, but with the price of magic, then that's obviously possible.
Okay, would you consider bouncing back the cauldron with glow now, just to draw a card?
There is no reason to. Like, do you need to draw something fast? Right now, not, because he's not threatening you. It's just better to save. You can safely just wait it out, because if you bounce it back, then you have to play it again, and maybe you will find yourself in a steam of turns where you will not find time to play it again. So...
He played Dragon Summoner, and I'm not gonna bounce that back for sure. And I'm not gonna Price of Magic it either, because I'm keeping it for Ayala, which he probably has his in hand already. So I just pass and set up one damage.
Well, you can just pass, that's true, because the summoner is gonna be banished with the curse later on anyway. And it's only 1 damage. It's not as suppressive as 2 damage. If it was something like Durial, then you would bounce it, but summoner is okay.
Here's the Ayala. Sweet, sweet Ayala for my banish.
Yeah, sounds good.
You keep relying on you, Dragon.
Another Ayala. And I got another queen. Now that's bad. Oh, why?
Well, that's not great, true.
Okay, shall I play out Alchemist?
No!
And maybe Evoid to get... I don't know, I don't Evoid. I have a curse already for next turn. I'll just pass. Or just maybe put out an Alchemist.
There is no reason. I mean, you can, but because you got Curse, unless he... Even if he evolves something on board, Curse banishes 5 or lower, right? So, you should be fine.
Yeah.
Unless he plays something that evolves it right off the bat. It's only 3 damage, so you can just wait.
Wait, I can banish the Ayala with bouncing, but the... oh no, because it's 3 mana.
It's
I'm
3
not
mana,
saying I
no,
didn't
no,
say
no.
anything.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I know, just pass.
Huh. Yeah,
just pass.
yeah, you just pass. That would be too sweet to do it.
Yeah, I had like 2 glows in my hand and I was keep bouncing back the ritual, weapon ritual. That was fun. Okay, he just favored, basically.
Okay.
So I don't know if I should curse next turn or not. Oh yeah, I should because he evoed the Ayala. Ugh.
Yeah, not only you should because of the Evo, but also because after you explain to me how the sigils works, then you will draw a card from Cauldron.
Yeah. It's interesting I didn't know.
As long as we
Alright.
I haven't played Rune that much, or yeah.
unbelievable.
I would say I played it, but I never paid attention to it. I was like, okay, so it's just a random sigil, whatever, and I never
Phoenix
saw
Roost.
it mentioned.
Oh my god, he played Phoenix Roost.
Oh well. So all you have to do right now is to draw a Dimension
Oh my God,
Shift.
If I had Dimension Shift in my hand, that would be so funny. Ah. Oh god, okay, what should I do now?
Well, it doesn't look good, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, because he already lowered the cost of the cursing. Okay, so when the Phoenix Roost leaves the battlefield, does it change the cost to normal or not?
No. It
Okay.
doesn't.
Okay, so. Huh? Okay, so.
It's not gonna change it.
Okay, so you should try to find either Petrification to remove it, so just to prevent future redo. So you can play Dwarf Alchemist and evolve it. And worst case scenario, you can bounce him back to draw one other card. And then you are still free to play the Israfil out of your hand, which should
I
put
choose
you.
Petrification, by the way.
Okay. So right now you just have tools necessary. So just play the Israfil. Kaleidoscopic Glow on the Alchemist, not less. So you will draw another card because you need this Dimension Shift badly. Like the Petrification,
I
you're
will not bounce back. I will not bounce back the Alchemist because then I will be on 9 mana. On 9 cards, and if we just discard.
but you play Israfil, so you
I did also time expire in the meantime, but remember I bounce it back and then it's going to be a 9 mana. Let's say I do not draw the shift. I'm gonna be on full hand, and then the next turn the D shift can be discarded if I draw it.
yes, but you are just multiplying your options at the moment, so it doesn't matter if you would discard now or never.
Dragonborn and Battle of Mysteria. What kind of deck is this?
Well, it's Phoenix Roost, so it's meme. I mean, sure, had you redraw one card, then it's fine, but you would also draw one. You need to propel into your deck, so you only have one Dimension Shift, and if you do not do it fast, like, if you miss your chance for a card draw, because you cannot bounce back anything else with the Kaleidoscopic Glow. If you miss your chance for the card draw, unless you play with Earth Sigil, so that's also an option, then it's gonna be hard.
I drew another Israfil.
The god of all.
Oh jeez, I just saw this Jabberwock.
Yeah. That was crazy. Okay, so my chance is to drop Israfil, and then I can drop Petrification as well on the Roost.
Well, Petrification the Roost will not help you too much.
Okay, then I can Petrify the Jabberwock, kill Zeus with... Okay, no, Petrify... Just quickly tell me what to do, because the time will...
Okay, so if you want to do it like this, you can also play with Sahakil. So something like Sahakil, then evolve the Sahakil, trade with Zeus, Israfil into the Jabberwock or the Genesis Dragon, and then you can petrify the other dragon, like the one that's left on the board. So this way you will clear the entire board of his.
I have to kill the Jabberwock because the Genesis has 9 HP. Israfil cannot clear it.
Well, after...
It can because it deals 2 damage.
It can, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I forgot.
And then you should have like spare mana left to do something like Earth Sigil and Kaleidoscopic Glow, but that's if you manage to do it on time.
Fighting is so cruel.
Fighting is so sorrowful.
Ah,
It won't be long
I didn't have enough time to glow it back. Oh.
Destroy our foe. Down you go.
Well, that's fine, as long as you kill the entire board, that it's still fine, because you maintained your presence. Sure, he's...
Another Genesis Dragon.
Yeah, so...
And the nerd. Yeah, I lost.
Yeah, so you lost. Well, had you draw the Dimension Shifter low, then you would win. But
Yeah.
not much you could do.
Yeah. This is the drawback of Loco deck. But nevertheless,
Not here.
I still really
Not now.
like this deck, and I'm just gonna. I don't care about randomness for now. I don't know. I just want to play this deck to have fun with it. If I
Looks like
rank up, then it's good. If I don't, then I just gain more experience with it.
Well, yeah, if you do not grind to Grandmaster to this month, then it's okay. Like, if it's not your goal.
Yeah, I'll just no, it's not my goal now. My goal is just to branch out my knowledge to other crafts, and this month it's basically Rune and maybe Dragon.
Oh, then you still have the next month, like, you can do the Grandmaster in September still.
Yeah, so you think you can get 1,000 points in 1 month?
It's only 10,000 points.
Well, yeah, but that's... Oh wait, yeah, 10,000. Yeah. For some reason yeah, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, there's like 3 ranks. Yeah, plus 1,000.
It's not like 100,000, that would be a lot, while 10,000 is
Yeah,
manageable.
okay, yeah, for some reason yeah, okay, yeah, that would be a lot. Yeah, wow, why did I think that? I don't know. Yeah, okay, nevertheless, our time is up, so I'm really grateful for this session, and I'm happy that I could show you my favorite deck right now, which is the Screen Shift one. I really like Ginger too, but my problem with Ginger, again, that it's very, very susceptible to board clear. And with Dragon being still present, Bahamut is a really big threat to me. I cannot beat Dragon with the control Ginger. With the neutral Ginger, it's fine, but sometimes I felt like I couldn't keep up with the aggro ones. So I still think that the control variant is stronger, and if I play control, then the D-shift one is better than Ginger.
Ginger is simply inconsistent. Like, if you are having success with the Queen Shift, then the Queen Shift, okay, it's not the best deck, but it's just fun. Like, sometimes it will just works and you will win some games. So if you want to play it, sure. Sometimes you will just win games for free. Let's just consider you would have this Dimension Shift in hand versus this Phoenix Ruse. You would just win the game by the fact of having some cards in the hand, so that's just part of the luck sometimes.
That'd be so fun. Instant win on turn 5. Yeah. Yeah, I also play the mid-range Rune a bit. I just play lots of Rune now. That's my goal. And some Dragon.
Okay.
Basically.
Sounds fine.
So once again, thank you for this session, and let's talk about if you have time on Sunday.
Yep, I will message you on Discord, so just look for my message.
Alright, thank you, and have a nice evening. Bye bye.
Yeah, you too. See ya.
User disconnected from your channel.
Okay, so basically this was the end of the session, so if anyone else have questions on be it Facebook or on Twitch, and just feel free to send a message to the fan page, and if not, then whatever. And if you want to sign up to the Baigom University, either as a coach, as a trainee, because there's like a lot of coaches, a lot of trainees right now, then just go to the Baigom Discord and register in the corresponding thread. So you too, have a nice day, have a nice evening, whatever you live. And I'm just going off. It's too hot, like it's over 35 degrees Celsius. It's impossible to live at the moment, like wow, it's so hot. Gonna die. Anyway, see ya.